Let me just bring you an update on what's happening with our major religions and how they're dealing with social distancing rules. Churches in Hertfordshire have held the first virtual communion service. Working together, the three churches in the parish of St Nicholas, St Mary's and All Saints set up a meeting using the business video conference tool Zoom, which everyone seems to be using. It also features live music from an organist and hymns. The Rev Dennis Stamps is the rector for the parish of Harpenden. Reverend, very good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to the programme. So you held the first virtual communion service last Sunday. How did it go?
Yeah, it went very well indeed. We were very surprised. We weren't sure how many people would join us, but we had 100 lines, which we were allowed for the Zoom subscription we had, and all of them were filled, and we know some people couldn't get in. So it was very exciting for our first virtual service to have so many attend. Really?
I mean, we've been forced into an uncomfortable situation, all of us. Of course, we're all finding ways of adapting. But did you get more people online that perhaps you might have had actually attending the service?
Well, I think it would have been nearly the same. We think we had about 150 people or so watching, and that's about how many we get at our church on a Sunday morning. But this Sunday, we're hoping we've now upped our subscription to 300. Will be interesting to see. We may have more people. Definitely some people are attending who don't come to church.
Really? Yeah. Do you know what? I keep like some people. I think we keep hearing of Zoom and the mechanism. Did you know about this before we were put in lockdown?
No, not at all. So this has all been very new. We chose Zoom because one of the features is, of course, you can see the persons who are participating. And a number of people said to us they found that really special, that they could see the faces of members of the congregation while we were doing the service.
Yeah, because at the moment with social isolation, I think most of us, if for us, might be missing that sort of human interaction. It's now it's been deprived of us for necessity, of course. You suddenly realise how lucky we were and what we had.
Yes, absolutely. It's so true. It'll be fascinating to see what happens when we can go back to meeting in the church building, what that sort of face-to-face fellowship will mean. And
looking ahead, if I may, Reverend, I mean, we've got Easter coming up, the most important event in the Christian calendar. Because normally most people go to church either weddings or funerals, or Christmas or Easter. What are we going to do with Easter?
Yes, I think, unfortunately, it's still going to be the same. We're going to have to have what the bishops in the Church of England are calling spiritual communion, where you watch a communion service on TV or you watch another kind of worship service for Easter. It won't be the same, but we'll all of us who are trying to do this will try to make it as special as possible to celebrate what Easter is about, the new life in Christ.
And it will be very, very novel because, you know, it is the biggest event in the Christian calendar. And it'll be a challenge for a lot of people.
Absolutely. A very big challenge. And I think for a lot of people, there will be a sadness. And some people have been saying that part of this isolation brings on a sense of grief because of the things that we cannot do, even though you want to do them.
When, and hopefully soon, this is all over, Reverend, and we're all back and we can do normal things once again, will you still be using Zoom technical devices to conduct churches, or do we want people back in? Because I quite miss going to church.
I hope we will get people coming back to church, maybe even more people. But we will have to see how this experience has taught us to be more online. A lot of us, this has been the first time that we have explored and experimented with this sort of church. And some people are saying that, this is a means which we can extend the work and mission and ministry of the church. So those of us who have discovered it may find that it is something that we can continue, at least in some way, perhaps hopefully not to the same degree that we're having to do it.
Reverend, pleasure talking to you. I wish you well.